Welcome to Modern Romance. Let's talk about love. Um, Obviously you know who I am, Zubair. That's the other guy. Well,
Bill.
yeah, Bill Moore. Um, anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about love. This is our kind of pre-Valentine's Day special, but we're also talking about couples. We're supposed to have our buddy Trapster join. By the way, thank you for everyone that watched the show last week, and it's already it was a fun episode to do, and definitely was fun for her to join. Um, Even though she's sadly not going to be on this episode, which I think she wanted to talk about, I think we kind of already referenced what things that she would say anyways on this show. But we're just going to devote this episode. Not only we're going to talk about Valentine's Day stuff or whatever, because this is our little Valentine's Day pre-show type of thing, but we're also going to talk about modern couples or just couples in general nowadays. So, what you got to say, Mr. Bill?
About what?
About anything like how's it going? How's like what's anything new in your love life?
I'm good. There's nothing really new in my love life. I've fucking chatted with people on the fucking apps or whatever, but like, I don't know. Nothing's happening. It is what it is. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm
I'll
not
tell
trying to fucking
you.
force anything at the moment. It's
Mhm.
just what I'm trying to take life for what it is, and like, fuck it. Uh, I I uh I don't know. My fucking life is way too complicated to be worried about this shit. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's just being 100% honest. Everything is just fucking crazy right now. So like, as far as that goes, like, I'm not saying I'm opposed to the idea. Some pretty woman walks up to me and is like, let's hang out. I'm not gonna be like no, but it's also not like I'm not craving the huntering right now. But
Yeah.
fucking, I don't know. I fucking, what do I think of fucking modern relationships? It depends on the relationship, man. Like
We'll get
fucking,
to it.
I don't fucking know.
We'll
Like,
get to it definitely. Um, in terms of my side of the story, I have not been craving a hunter myself too. I just been focusing on my life, work, and also just now gym. My gym is closing, so now I have to find a new gym, which I kind of did. And it's kind of far, but it's 24 hours, so it kind of works out in terms of my sort of life at the moment where I kind of have to utilize that, even though it's a bit far. So I have to make ends meet, make it work. Um, in terms of live, actually, I will tell you this. I actually met one girl recently,
what? How'd
but
that happen? And
at a
what's the
bus stop.
story?
That's what I'm gonna tell you. That's the beauty of when we update about stuff. But again, I wasn't craving the hunter. I mean, I was even thinking this during this past Super Bowl weekend and Fashion Week. It's New York Fashion Week, by the way. It's kind of time to meet some girls, right? But I just, it was very cold, and also just,
Okay, happy Fashion Week,
yeah.
everybody. But
I mean, hey, I got a good line. Let me first of all, before I talk about what I was going to talk about, here's a
uh
good
huh.
line. If it's New
What's
York
that?
Fashion Week, right, and you're in New York,
Okay.
hey, it's New York Fashion Week, and you look like a model. What's up? That's a good pick-up line right there.
That's If someone said that to me, I would beat them with a stick.
That's because you're a fucking homo. Or
I'm not a homo.
you're a guy.
I'm a Chad young man. But uh fucking, so what's the story here? You said that to some girl and she was
No,
receptive
no,
to
no,
it?
no, 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 no. This was weeks prior.
Okay.
But again, in honor of New Year Fashion Week, I was gonna do that. I mean, I think I could still, this week, even with Valentine's
Do
weekend.
what you want.
Yeah, I, don't know, I might go out Valentine's Day. I don't know,
You
but
have the
anyway,
freedom. Do it. Go out on Valentine's Day. Fucking dance it up at the club.
that's the thing. I just don't want to do things myself. You know what I mean?
Okay. Then don't go.
Exactly. That's why I've been home more so home lately.
Like, whatever.
So I just been home more comfortable. Just well, okay, but I'll tell you this story, right?
Okay.
Met this cute chick. I was at the bus stop after work,
Mm-hmm.
and she just came my way. I was like, obviously, like, oh man, should I talk to her or whatever? But obviously, it's that social anxiety, right? You don't want to come off as a creep. You don't want to come off as a weirdo. And I did not look my best. I was wearing my glasses. Okay.
Right.
I did not look my part. I did not look great. I did not. I go to work to fucking go to work and just chat up with my buds. That's what I do.
Okay.
Uh, and plus like a specific girl. Okay, I think we'll mention this a little bit. There's like a cute chick that lives by where I work. She walks by time to time. But
Oh, the
unfortunately,
fucking yeah, you thought the Mets girl.
should we mention? Should we talk about the Mets girl?
Whatever, yeah, go ahead.
So there's this chick who walks by where I work, and you can say I admire her from afar. Would like to talk to her. It just obviously there's no proper place and time to be able to talk to her because I'm busy working, and I don't want to fucking. And if I talk to her, because again we have to be careful as men, right? We have to be careful as guys. If a girl, you never know, like a girl could just easily think you're a weirdo for that, and she can fucking complain. Thankfully, I have a chill fucking work environment, so I'm not gonna be in trouble. And plus, I talk about it with my buds, like, and they always like whenever like they see her or her like her family walk by, it's like, hey, Zubair, it's your family walking by, or it's your in laws, or like, oh, it's your wife walking by. All right. But again, I think so. And but here's the thing: why I call her Mets girl or whatever with you is because one of my coworker buddies, he saw her at a Mets game, and apparently she had season tickets with her family. So and then that's also one of the reasons why I went to my first Mets game this past year, to hopefully maybe like that's a way to be the good icebreaker there. But unfortunately, she was not there in that game. There was cute. I gotta tell you, man. First of all, I enjoyed my first baseball game, and I would say I'm a Mets fan officially. Not saying I don't like the Yankees. Well, there's no reason to really like the Yankees. We could always have a certain country boy to come on here and talk about how much he hates the Yankees, and I can understand why. Um, but that's a funny thing. My buddy at work, he is like the polar opposite righty. He's like he hates the Yankees with a passion. Is a big Mets fan, while righties hates the Mets with a passion and loves the Yankees. They would definitely their ideas would clash, right? But they have like it's like also they're similar but so opposite where their love for their team.
Right.
So, but again, the Mets girl. That's why we call her Mets girl, right? We need a pet name. We kind of also call her Wendy's now because get it? There's a Wendy's nearby where I work, and
How
she.
the fuck would I get it?
Well,
I don't know that you have a Wendy's nearby where you work.
my
Fucking,
fault.
we also call her Wendy's girl. Get it? Because there's a. What the fuck are you talking about?
I should have
Why
fucking.
would I understand that?
Well, I thought I mentioned this outside of the call. Sorry,
No,
but
I've never. I don't know the layout of your area.
I'm sorry. But anyways, yeah, there's a Wendy's nearby, and she got Wendy's at one lots of, and yeah, it's a cute little pet name for her. Whatever. Um, I have not sadly talked to her, or even I would have loved to. I think one time I tried talking to her, a fucking Mexican guy, like some Spanish guy, who came up to me, was like, you speak Spanish? I was like, shut the fuck up, you fucking cockblock me, you stupid fucking retard. Go back to Mexico. Um,
Damn, did you actually say that to him?
I wanted to say that to him so fucking badly. I would
Damn,
fudge him.
damn. See, yeah, yeah. Anytime someone says that they said something to somebody, always ask them, "Did you really say that?" Because most of the time, it's what they wish they said to the person, and I could fucking tell immediately. You were like,
Yeah, but
"Go back to Mexico." Like, yeah, yeah. I'm sure you said that to someone in public. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
But I mean, he didn't do it intentionally, but whatever. We would have loved to. But again, so there was one time that I actually went to be able to talk to her, or but I think she forgot about it now. It's kind of embarrassing since what happened. I guess we might as well mention because it's kind of important to mention this. Um, she was walking by, and I was like off work, and she was with her mother. I mean, I was kind of nervous, but I was like, "Fuck it, maybe she'll be more comfortable to talk to her mother." Um, I noticed they seem to be pro America, so I was like, hey, maybe we might be get along with each other, whatever. Went up to them, went to say hi, and just wanted to use the whole, oh, did you? I think I recognize you guys to the Mets game, whatever. Even though I didn't see them physically, but they go to Mets game, so I try to use that as an excuse to talk to them, and they walked away.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so where does the story go now?
So the story goes like now it's like I kind of see her all the time walking. I wanted to take a break from ever bothering her, like maybe get her like to not remember. right?
Yeah, get her to
Probably,
forget that moment ever happened.
she probably does. I mean, I'm sure women like they go on and about whatever. But
Girls are
obviously,
like cats, bro. Like, as far as their memory goes, man, fucking 5 minutes, they don't even remember.
yeah. But obviously, I was afraid when that happened. I'm not gonna lie. When that happened, I felt like a fucking idiot. Or it just obviously you kind of it's like that kind of social anxiety where kids in like you hate when that happens and you worry about what people could think like when that happens when they look at you and see stuff like that. That's also one reason why I don't approach her in like I don't hold on
You
a
don't just
second. We
walk
have a
up to her every day. Yeah, that would be bad.
hold on a second. We have a little friend messaging us right now.
Who?
The trapster.
Oh, is she coming on?
Yeah, that's
Nice. She's joining 10 minutes in. I'm
it's okay.
glad.
It's okay.
Welcome. I don't care. Whatever.
I don't care either.
The more the merrier. That's
The
what I
more
always say.
exactly. It's technically we want to talk about the topic. She wanted to talk about this specific topic. So, yeah,
Right. And it's good for her to come in here now because she knows this story.
yeah. Oh yeah, she's the one that I told. Yeah, but again, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the thing is, it's obviously like I'm afraid. Like since then to like even bother her because it always kicks into me, but it's just also never proper timing. There's nowhere for a proper timing where I'll be able to talk to this chick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. And
Right.
like yeah, so that's the thing. It has there late especially lately. I think the last time like when I saw her actually like was maybe I could talk to her, I just wasn't in the best condition where like I did not look good. So she would totally not talk to me and she'll completely walk away. Like I'm a fucking homeless guy trying to beg for change. That's what's the problem, like how girls can be. If you try to cold approach, I mean, not saying that has not happened before, but obviously it always bothers me. It makes you seem like you're a fucking, you're nobody, right? You're trying to fuck. Obviously, you're bothering them, but obviously that's, you're trying in the intention of hopefully get to know them. But it's like that's how you fucking come off as sadly, especially if you're not a conventionally attractive dude. So that's why you gotta be careful. Um, but yeah, that's the Mets girl story where I still am hoping to talk to her. I'm just hoping she doesn't get a boyfriend. I'm just hoping that it's obviously gotta be a proper timing. But at this moment, she keeps walking by.
The planets just have to align in that right fucking pattern, man, and you're
Yeah.
fucking set.
So you want
But
to tell
fuck
the
it.
viewers? You want to tell the viewers what you told me that I should do? Obviously, the whole idea is like what I'm hoping to do is that I would be able to talk to her right after I finish work. Right.
Right,
But
right.
unfortunately, lately I have been not seeing her where she would be around because that's what usually would have happened. I noticed that whenever like I'm about to take the bus, she arrives with the same bus where I'm. That's a funny thing. She arrives with the bus that I'm about to go home. So it's just like, ugh, man. Or I could always wait for the different bus. Maybe I could try to talk to her there. But again, it's like either I'm held back by my kind of fears of social anxiety and not just that like because I don't you never know, you can go up to a chick, the word like it's not for people say the worst you can say is no. That's not the truth. That's not actually the truth. You
I mean,
never
they can
know.
definitely say worse things than no, but I think what you need to understand is it doesn't matter what they say because what they say that's not your value. Like your value isn't tethered to what some person that you barely know thinks of you. Like that's not fucking like so that's what you need to take into account.
Yeah.
When someone says the worst they can do is say no, sure they can say a lot worse than that, but the worst they're going to do is just say a bunch of shit and it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. The reason listen, I have no problem cold approaching. I have done cold approaching a bunch of times. It's
Mm-hmm.
just in this circumstance, this chick lives by where I work. So
Yeah,
that's
so you're worried it could create some kind of an awkward situation in the future. I understand what you're saying. However, if you just went up and said something once, it's not going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like, and if you do something again and she's like, hey, no, it's not going to create issues for you in the future if you don't go up and initiate anything again. Because a rejection is like, whatever. But like, if you continue, that's negative.
obviously. Yeah. What would you say? Like, you want to rephrase what you even mentioned to me before, or even like you want to mention like maybe someone who's dealing with this issue who is watching. What is your advice?
My advice would be, if you're in a situation where you want to talk to somebody, you should go up and talk to them. And if they're not receptive of what you're saying or receptive of you, go find someone else to talk to. Simple as that. The simplest thing I can tell you is, if you want to do that, try to spark up a conversation, and if it doesn't work out, move on. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's all you can do, because like
Oh.
fucking you're living in a world where your two options are do something or don't do it. And if you choose don't do it, you're going to regret that. And if you choose do it, you might regret it, but hey, at least you did it, right?
Of course, but I was kind of hoping you would mention the whole, like, the whole approaches that you would mention to that I should do. Like, for example, write my number and
Oh,
give
hey, yeah,
it.
that's a good idea. If you're really scared of rejection, which you shouldn't be, but if you're really scared that someone's going to reject you, um you can write your number on a piece of paper. And now this is a very, very specific situation you can do this in. Only in very certain circumstances can you do this. This isn't something you can do all the time. But if it's a situation where you're like, hey, like, I don't want to bother this person or make them feel like they fucking, have to respond to me or have to anything, especially in a situation like this where it's like, you actually have to see each other. You can write your number on a piece of paper, be like, hey, I think you're cute. I want to get coffee with you sometime. If you'd like to, hit me up. And just give that to them and walk away, because you don't have to make a conversation out of it. You don't have to make a fucking weird thing out of it. And you can just move on, because you see them again, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But like, fucking again, it's like, that's not my advice every time. So don't fucking think like, oh, you said to just do this. Like, if you just do that all the time, you're gonna look like a weirdo. Like, it's in very certain situations that you can do that. Like, and in certain situations you shouldn't. But like, fuck it. Also, who the fuck wants to take my advice on anything? Like, why would you? And just do shit. Like, that's the fucking key to all this, right? Like, fucking 95% of people's problem is that they just sit around and don't do anything. Is that they don't fucking take any action, and they're just like, hey, let's just let life happen. And then it's gone. Fucking, if you do something, you might fail, but at least you did something. I mean, like, that's just like, everybody says shit like that, but it's just the fucking God's honest truth. Like, I don't know.
All right. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, the it's better. The whole idea of rejection is better than regret, right? You should definitely at least do something. It's better than regretting it. Um.
Yeah, because you'll just be thinking about that forever. Like what the fuck? And you shouldn't do
Oh
that to
yeah.
yourself.
There've been a bunch of times I wish I approached a chick and I regret it. I still think of that. I still think of, even like, I think a girl I didn't get to approach maybe at one time at college, and I still like. I mean, it's a bunch of girls, right? It's a thing. It's a thing that sadly you do regret not. I mean, would have it led to something? Maybe not. I'm considering with my luck, but at the end of the day, at least you gave it a shot. So I would say, well, who knows? There might be a miracle. You never, if it's especially a girl you probably don't know. Looks can be deceiving. Maybe like she may look like she has like that RBF kind of look, where like a resting bitch face, but in reality she probably is a nice, kind person. You can always try to say
Yeah,
hi.
give everybody a shot.
So I would say that. We could definitely talk about cold approaches in the future. We'll talk about that. But again, we'll get. But okay, going back to my story in terms of this chick I met. I got her number in Instagram. How this went about? I was coming off work waiting for the bus stop. She came to my bus. She was in the same bus stop. Didn't talk to her because again was hesitant of the whole social anxiety type of shit. But then, thank by the graces of God, we managed to sit next to each other in the same bus, which it worked out. Um, Worked out beautifully. I even complimented her on her scarf. I remember I complimented her. She's like, "Oh, thank you," and whatever. She was like thankful at that. And
And
then
this is the same girl?
no, it's a different girl. Different girl.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It would have been nice though if I was able to finally talk to her. But
Yeah.
But again, but that's in the future. I mean, I technically did one time with her mom, and she walked away. Um, yeah, you laughed.
I did because it was just such a funny little aside. But
Yeah, whatever.
but okay,
I mean, I want to be the
Talkative.
traditional old school type of guy to be nice and respectful to the mother, you know. But damn, like the mother, like I don't know. They just
The
looked at each.
mother walked away. But
Her
no,
and the mother walked away. Yeah.
fucking okay. So okay, what
Okay,
the
this
fuck were
other
we
chick.
talking about?
This
This
other
other
chick.
chick, you complimented her scarf. She said thank you. What happened after
And
that?
then like it's like, and then I managed like, oh, are you from that neck of the woods? Like, yeah. What are you yourself? And we talked about how we oh we bonded of going to the same pizza place. He goes to the same pizza place nearby where we eat, and also the deli, and just basically about the area where I'm from, what's my background, ask her background. Basically, just getting to know each other, right? It's just
Good.
all
Okay, this
the
is good.
bang. All right. We also end up bonding about a mutual friend of ours. We actually have a mutual friend. It's a friend from college.
Oh,
Um,
okay, it's not
and we
anybody I know.
Nah, a mutual friend of ours. We bonded over that, and yeah, we agreed to exchange numbers, Instagram, and yeah, I even told her, hey, if you're down, we should definitely go get to pizza nearby. He's like, I'm down. I love pizza. I mean, it kind of feels like similar to how I, approached this chick who was supposed to be like my first date, and now she's fucking pregnant. Um, and yeah, but yeah, it's stuff like that. And
Fuck.
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we could always talk about it in the future. Or we can talk about soon. But yeah, and even told like, hey, oh yeah, I managed to actually mention my nickname Zuby Bomb because
Zuby bomb.
get it, and I told her because I do weird gymnastics. I do crazy gymnastics shit, and she's like, that's funny. And she thought like my glasses. I was like kind of like, oh, I usually don't wear my glasses. Like, oh, I think it's kind of cute. And
Hell yeah, dude.
I was like, okay, I approached
Sounds
her.
like you got a lady that likes you.
Well, well, here's the thing.
Oh no.
She has not messaged back since,
Womp womp.
and this happens all the fucking time.
What do your messages look like?
I just fucking said, hey, it was so great meeting you. Hope to keep in touch and get to know each other. You know, she didn't respond, and then I
Okay,
messaged just one
that
more
was a
time.
good message.
How was that?
I hope we get to keep in touch and get to know each other. Don't say that. You say,
I mean,
hey,
I'm just
how
just
are you? It was nice meeting you today. That's
I,
what you keep it at. You don't
well,
you fucking talk like a goddamn genie with women. That's your problem. Is you come in trying to grant their wishes. Like fucking you show up and you're like fucking you do these fucking long ass paragraphs and you fucking say this shit that doesn't make any goddamn sense. And listen, I love you. You're my friend. But that you just again you come off like a fucking like some kind of snake oil salesman. Like it's not natural. Like what you do is you say, hey, how are you? It was nice to meet you. You keep it short, you keep it simple. Once you start having like 3 or 4 sentences in a message, you gotta fucking sit back. You gotta fucking dial it back because it's just it looks odd. It looks odd. And I mean I know that it's weird to fucking like be told that, but like there are certain rules when it comes to messaging to make yourself look more normal and to be normal actually, because I'll be honest with you, if you look at anybody that we talk to, any mutual friends that we have, nobody types like you. You type weird. I don't even know how to put it other than you come off like a fucking mystical man. Like you're gonna fucking give them a gym and then they're gonna take that gym to a magical cave and then the genie in the cave is gonna give them something special. Like I don't know. But fucking
the funny thing is, you mentioned that. Like, that's what fucking every chick thinks of a fucking handsome guy would do. Let's just be for real here. That's what they would in their imaginary world.
if they
But
want what?
and
A
they
man to send them a long ass message after they just met them.
I did not even send this chick a long ass message.
You said it was nice to meet you. I hope we can get to know each other and keep in touch.
Well, it's just this. It's about the same. I didn't type that directly, or I didn't type that like word to word like that. But that's the gist of it. It was a short message.
Can you tell me what it was exactly so I can actually judge what this is?
Let me get my fucking phone. All right. Her name is. Actually, I know I want to mention
Bill. It's Bill.
Bill Arena. All right, I gotta find her message or my message. Oh yeah, she messaged her number, right? She messaged me first.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right? You gave her your number and then she messages you. I get you.
Yeah. Hey, blank. It was great meeting you. Hope to talk and get to know each other more. Take care. And then because she hasn't like responded. I didn't see her since. I messaged her recently. Now this was back in the 23rd of Thursday. Thursday the 23rd of January when I met her.
Okay.
Now it's been 2 weeks since. Just want to see if I just literally say, "Hey, Sophia." Oh shit. Oh my god. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hope all's well. And nothing.
Damn. Well, I don't know what to tell you. There might have been something weird that happened when you were talking to each other in person. But then again, if you gave her your number and she messaged you and was like, "This is my number," then clearly she wanted to give you her number. So I don't even know how I would fucking say
it happens
that. Like,
all the time. I'm telling you, this shit happens all the time. Either this is an ego's boost, either this is like an ego boost to her. This is what I talked to one of my other buddies, right? He told me like it's the same shit. It's either an ego boost to them, like they see this as an ego boost. This is boosting their ego. And it's just like really they don't really think you're that potential boyfriend type guy. 2, she did say that she was going to meet, and I asked like, "Oh, what you're what you're doing at this time of night or whatever." I don't know if that sounds weird to say, but basically I asked like, "Oh, is there any plans you're doing right now?" Because I told like, "Oh, I was going to be on my way home, just to relax after a long day from work." And she said, "I'm going to actually meet up with some friends." So most likely she probably, case number 2, she probably told her friends. And you never know. Maybe her friends, because she told me that our mutual friend, by the way, she has not been in touch with her lately. So maybe if she asked her, maybe like her mutual friend could have told her, hey, "Yeah, I remember Zubair, good guy, whatever." I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows what happened? I mean, or maybe she just wasn't feeling it, or maybe fucking who knows? A whole litany of things could have happened. But
yeah, I'm trying to say like it's a typical like maybe the friends turned her off because again it's all about I keep mentioning this and I do think that's that's always a scenario. Either one it's ego boost and they don't really care to get to know you. 2, the friends maybe think like this you could do better. It's like that type of shit. And 3, they met somebody else that's better. She could have met somebody else better. Whatever, good for them. It sucks that this always happens. So that's the 3 case scenarios that will always happen. Sadly, as a guy, it's hard as a guy with dating because you have so much competition in the world, and just you have to deal with all this bullshit. It's whatever.
Everybody's competition to everyone, man. At the end of the day, the only person who actually gives a fuck about whether you do better than them is your parents. And even then, half the time, that's not the case. A lot of the time, the parents kind of want to be on top, and then, like, I'm not saying all parents are, I'm not fucking whatever. What I'm saying is, life is a competition a lot of the time with a lot of people. You're going to be competing for a lot of things, romance, job security, fucking whole litany of things. Fair or not, it is what it is. You're just going to have to do it. But the thing is, in this scenario with the whole, is it her friends? Is it her? It doesn't really matter at that point, other than to assess yourself and to see what you can do different next time. That's what you should take every failure as. Never like, "Oh man, what thing on the outside of me made this happen?" It's always, what can I do to better myself and make the next situation less likely to have this happen? That's where your brain should be. It shouldn't be in trying to blame anybody else or anything else, because whether or not you blame it, they're going to be doing what they're fucking doing, you know? So, like, you're just going to have to get in your own head and be like, what's next for me?
I
What's my
fucking
next
think
move?
about that all the time. Like I think about like what am I doing wrong, right? And then it's like I don't know, man. It's like it's fucking messed up. It's like like it's fucking frustrating. You like you
Something you could really genuinely do is try to learn communication skills. Like, and I know that that's like not easy to hear someone say that, but you can find things online. You can find a lot of stuff, a lot of tools out there to help you. I think you have a very hard time talking to people. And I think that it's not even necessarily that, like, I think people want to be nice to you. I think a lot of these women want to be nice to you. I think they recognize that you're not a bad person and they just want to talk to you, but they don't have any interest in you in that way because you have a weird way of communicating with people and not like knowing how to fucking gauge people's emotions and gauge what's going on with them. So I think that if you genuinely put an effort in to learn how to communicate and learn how to fucking just get out of your own head a little bit, you could really do your fucking love life wonders. And not just that, just your social life in general and everything else. I mean, fucking.
But what is it that I'm speaking, or what makes me
You say
laugh?
words wrong, you get really into like, I don't know. You said how you're doing earlier. That's not anything that anybody says. And fucking like, you use the wrong words and sentences. And it's not even to say that, like, I'm just saying, like, you got to educate yourself. You know, like, you got to learn how to consume things that are better for your mind. There's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of material out there that you could genuinely be like people talk about their algorithm all the time, right? Like they talk about things like, man, I got porn in my algorithm all the time. It's because you were looking at porn. Like fucking, so something that can help you out is look at more intellectual things, more self-improvement things, more self-help sort of things that aren't about pickup artist stuff or any of that stuff. Get away from that and just focus on like philosophy, certain things that can help push you forward. You can get involved in like self-help things. There are actual things that can help you build yourself. There's like confidence coaching. It's not all just like, you know, this one thing. And I mean, the reason that you see all this shit on YouTube of people fucking getting viral talking about how it's everybody else's fault, how there's all of these problems with women and all of this shit, is because it's a lot fucking easier to do that, to sit back and blame the whole world for your problems and everybody else, and it's nothing to do with me, than it is to actually put the effort in to go out of your way and fix yourself. And it's not easy, and everybody has to do it, or just be fucking miserable your whole life. I mean, those are your only options. You don't get a third one. So
Agreed.
fucking
Fair play, fair play. I agree. I mean, that's the thing I would say. Like, again, when you see a lot of these people who are like incelish, or basically that deal with they're like very simpy dudes, or the people who are like the fake nice guy syndrome type of shit. Again, that's what a lot of people like. They would see as a different way, and I agree with that. Right. I think from my personal experience, like I'm not saying I'm the perfect dude, right? It's just like I'm going by like from my like let's say I've told I've even asked like people in my personal life, like, well, I'm not saying you're a part of my personal life. Like it's just in terms of
I understand.
And obviously like I'm hoping to meet you soon. I really do.
Yeah, it'll happen.
I mean, but we are friends. Doesn't matter. We're connected through the fucking
paths cross one day. But what were you saying?
I'm trying to say like, but in terms of like the people who I actually like know and see like on day-to-day basis, right? Who I've told, and they say like, I don't see the problem with you, bro. You're just you are actually fucking trying, but maybe you're just trying too much or something. So
that could also be it. You're too eager and going too far. I mean, I've had that fucking problem before. They call me Eager Emery. That's fucking, and I do that shit. Fucking, and I get it. I mean, it's unattractive to women, and that's something you got to learn to fucking taper down, man. You got to fucking learn that is.
Well,
Fucking,
when they mean like I try too much in terms of like I'm actually like, man, maybe it's time to like stop like actually trying to meet a girl, or just for it.
I don't know about that. What I would say is, it sounds like okay. So
I
you're
am
talking
eager.
about
I'm gonna lie. I
you
do. I
said
will say that. I think I like. I've learned that. Yeah, maybe my eagerness can show, right?
uh-huh.
I mean, but every man is fucking eager.
I mean, yeah, that's true. You just can't fucking be. There's just a way to show it and a way not to show it, and sometimes it just comes off wrong.
Yeah.
And again, that's what I'm talking about. It's the social cues, and it's learning how to fucking do that first.
Yeah.
Fucking, it took me a while too, but like, it is what it is. Like, fucking, you'll learn.
Yeah, it's just like, man, like I think like one, because like for example, my buddies I tell in real life, like, man, I actually fucking, they say, but bro, man, like it seems like you got your shit together, like you fucking got confidence and shit, like they can't believe like wow, I actually fucking put myself out there, like, man, you really improved from when you were like freaking back in like high school, whatever, like you actually fucking like they like acknowledge that, like you looked the part, whatever, but unfortunately, it's not working out, but. It is what it is.
Right. But if it's never working with anybody ever, then you have to understand that that's not on them. Like, fucking,
it's gotta be something with me.
There's a saying: if everyone in the room is an asshole, you're the asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like it's the same thing where it's like, if everybody else is rejecting you, you might be the problem. So like that's how you should take that, and to look at your fucking self. And I'm not saying that it's bad that you have a problem. You just need to fix yourself. Like, fucking everybody has that. Like, everyone has that. Exactly. Like, something in their life that they have to fucking get over, and that's yours. Is that you're a goofball.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we actually have somebody finally backstage. We have our little mutual friend who's finally joined us for the portion of what we were hoping to have her on, is to talk about modern relationships. Ladies and gentlemen, the Trappening.
Hello, Zubair. I'm sorry I was late. I had just woken up.
It's okay.
Hey, it's cool. You've never. But hey, why are you just acknowledging me? I know I'm a handsome motherfucker. Why don't I acknowledge the other handsome motherfucker?
Well, hi, Emery. I'm sorry. I was acknowledged Zubair first because he was messaging me.
It's okay. I don't mind. You don't have to tell me hi. But regardless, fucking, you missed a whole lot of fun just now. Fucking 35 minutes of what this show should have been from the start. Fucking, and now we're going into talking about modern relationships. So, for Act 2, what would you like to fucking, what do you want to say about modern relationships, Zubair? Give us your idea, and then we'll springboard off of your idea.
I mean, I thought this, like, when we talked about Trap Queen joining the show, or the Trappening, she apparently wanted to come up with she had the idea to want to talk about relationships. So I think it's based, why not she starts, actually? Or
why not she starts? How do I say words wrong?
Go ahead, Trap Queen.
Okay, so is there anything particular about modern relationships you'd like me to speak on?
Yeah, I mean, you could talk. I mean, you could tell my. There's a little background noise. Whatever. We'll get better. You could just go. The floor is yours to talk about what's your thoughts on traditional and modern relationships. You can mention like the situationships. You can even mention the whole multi-person relationship, especially maybe if you want to mention a little story that if you're comfortable with that.
So I don't really know if like the multiple person, like polyamorous relationships are really all that common. Most of the time it's just kind of like a bunch of ugly people kind of starting like a little like harem together. Like, I've never known any like normal people, or like
are weird looking.
But I've never known any like people who were actually aspirational that were doing a polyamorous relationship. So
listen, the Prophet Muhammad had like fucking 10 wives, and he was one of the most famous men that ever existed. So it can happen.
Well, supposedly I have a friend in real life that has 4 wives.
I don't believe him though. That's also why I want to speak to him. He talks about how he's this
What?
this boon hound and he has 4 wives, but he's a US citizen, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe that's legal here.
Well, no, he's not like legally married to them. They're just known as his wives.
Oh, they just say they're his. Okay, so they're not legally married. They're Islam married, I guess, like religiously married.
Kinda. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I don't know. Trapping, did you watch that live show?
I watched part of it.
And what's your impression of that guy?
So I would like to know maybe more details because he wasn't really clear on how he made not only how he made his money but also how did he end up with 4 wives. Like he wasn't really clear on that from what I saw.
So the thing is about him, he has like 4 wives, but he still like meets with a bunch of women, like at nightclubs or whatever, and like his wives are like okay with him going out with a bunch of women and having sex with them. And I do think because like I mean no, and he's gonna probably watch this. Dude, don't hate me. Again, it's probably because again, like it is because money, right? So
But like so what's his reasoning behind that? Like why not just kind of like stay by one woman? Like what's his reasoning for having multiple?
well, that's something we can definitely ask him in the future. But from what I know personally, he just he's a guy, right? That has
He's an
needs.
Andrew Tate type guy.
Oh, he loves Andrew Tate.
I knew it. I knew for a fact that guy would love Andrew Tate. Like that fucking like you didn't have to tell me any fucking thing about him other than this guy says he's a self-made millionaire. He has 4 wives. Ding ding ding. Andrew Tate fan every fucking time. Every fucking time.
He's a very on brand Andrew Tate.
Fucking does he talk like one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking see. Yeah, exactly. We got fucking Islamic Sneeko in the chat.
love you, dude. I'm not. This is not me dissing you. Just so
it's not him doing anything. It's me saying things. And if you want to fucking talk to me and you want to prove me wrong and call me a dumbass and say that I'm a pasty white boy and I would be your, what is it? Your jizya, your dhimmi. I would be your dhimmi and I would have to pay your jizya tax. You can say that to me all you want. That you can come on and tell me that I'm completely fine with that. I don't care. Like fucking but I do want to speak to you. I think you'd be an interesting man to talk to. And also you could bring your 4 wives on here. You could have them all individually tell me that I suck. That's cool.
I've talked to
you have 4 wives.
I've talked to one of his wives before.
One of them. You now have 3 left. It's like
no, I know. Actually, no. I talked to 2. I talked to. He mentioned that they're. I forgot their names. One of them, he introduced me on a phone call with him, and the other, he was like, he was like going Times Square. He was like joking, like, yo, man, we should go to freaking, go to, SmackDown's at MSG, man. We gotta go to SmackDown, bro. And I was like, no, it's already too late. The show is happening.
Damn. He doesn't know what time.
Oh, he's a big fucking wrestling fan, by the way, and he can get all these chicks.
Wow.
And supposedly one of his new wives is her father. Her father watched wrestling, and like she's like a wrestling fan, and apparently like he's now planning to go to WrestleMania with that chick. Take her with him.
Is he gonna wrestle?
No, he's not gonna wrestle. Oh man, when he was like drunk one time, this was back in August. He was so drunk. He was like talking about, yo man, I'm gonna be just like you, man. I'm gonna freaking train to be a wrestler. Like, calm the fuck down, dude. There's more to just. And he's like, I mean, I don't need to train. I could just. I'm a fucking millionaire. And that's what he keeps fucking talking about. But yeah, he always talking about how like, yo, when I make a great heel because I get it, like I'm fucking rich and I have all these girls and all that kind of shit. It's like, yeah.
Fucking, I'd like to forcefully hit him with my heel.
Oh no.
A nice little kick in the shins. Okay, so modern relationships. Do you think that it's wrong to have a harem of women in your basement? Yes or no, Trap Queen?
I mean, I definitely think that it's wrong.
Okay.
It's kind of been it has been promoted by like the kind of guys like that, guys who follow Andrew Tate and guys who follow Sneeko, to where like they kind of want like this weird like pseudo like Islamic lifestyle to become mainstream.
It's always funny to me that these are the guys that talk about how our traditional values are being destroyed, how we need to go back to this simpler time that was a lot better. And then they do everything they can to perpetuate society going in the opposite direction of that. Literally everything they can to make it fucking whether you want to call it sex trafficking or not, pimping a bunch of chicks out on OnlyFans or whatever, doing all that stuff. Just it's just not, that's not tradition, like that's never had, like you're doing the same shit, like that's the shit that you're against. So it's just, I don't know.
You're
And
making it
then
worse. You're promoting your what you're against.
exactly, they perpetuate the problem. And I mean, of course they do, because you need a problem to bitch about, like everybody create, like if you've made a career bitching about something, you probably want that thing to continue so you can keep bitching about it, because that's what makes you fucking money. Like it only makes sense. It literally, that's the only, like that's it. Like whatever. Like, and maybe not everybody, not everybody who bitches about something likes the thing that they bitch about, but a lot of people do, especially people that make money off of it. So whatever.
So, Trap Queen, like, give us your thoughts on, like, from traditional relationships to now the whole issues of relationships where there's like people wanted to, like, they refuse to have commitments, and there's like this whole term of situationships, and again the whole multi-person relationships. You can go along with that, since that's something you wanted to talk about before.
Okay, so I there is definitely a problem with that, especially among the younger population, so where people are a lot less likely to commit to each other, and a lot of people just kind of want sex without having to deal with the feelings and emotions that come in, that coincide with it.
Hookup culture, sneaky links, right? Yeah.
I want to
Hmm.
commit homicide.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll continue, Trap.
Well, I do too, Emery. Just kidding. Bleep that. Anyway,
What?
um,
What?
okay. So anything in particular you want me to talk about with that?
No, I mean, again, it's the floor is yours. Whatever you want to talk about in terms of, like, what's your thoughts on traditional relationships nowadays, or if there's even a thing still, and the situationship issue, sneaky links, hook culture, and,
What
like,
is sneaky links?
oh, that's what freaking people. That's what these people who are not in a relationship, but it's like the hookup shit. Like,
Oh,
somebody.
okay. Friends with benefit. Got it.
Exactly.
Cool.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think traditional relationships still definitely exist, but I think it's become like kind of normalized to be part of, yeah, situationships or like friends with benefit situations where people just kind of, you get called over to someone's house at like 3 a.m. and just kind of give them what they need and then go. And in my opinion, that's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't, just means to an end for your pleasure. There's actual, I don't know if are we allowed to say sex on the show. Sex is a very,
Trap Queen,
you
this
know,
is about a romance. We're talking about love. Sex is part of love.
okay, so
You're not.
that's a very like emotion inducing practice, 'cause it's really only supposed to be done with people that you really feel a certain way about. And I think when you just keep giving it up to people who don't feel that way about you, and you probably don't feel that way about them, it's probably not good for you spiritually.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Now, Zubair,
Any
I have a question for you.
What's up, Trapster?
So, I've heard you allude to this before, but what is the man in finance trend that you've been talking about?
Man, I thought you knew this.
I know the
Yeah,
song, but
he always says that whenever Righty asks what is that, he says ask Trap Queen, she'll know.
Yeah, I thought you knew Trap. Okay. The man in finance trend. If I have to clarify, okay, the man in finance trend is basically, a bunch of people nowadays, right? Especially women, right? They're looking for a man. It started with the song where I'm looking for the man in finance, trust fund, six
yeah,
five
I know that song.
finance, test fund 6'5". I'm looking for a man. I'm looking for a man. I'm looking for a man. You know what I mean. It's that stupid song, but because of that, it made there's women in this, especially thanks to TikTok and whatever social media. They think that they're owed that, or that's their like they're setting their standards behind for men who are 6'5", blue eyes, in finance, basically like just kind of influencing women to look for those type of men.
Okay, so do you think like this is an actual problem, or is it just like a small, like micro issue that you've made that you think is more important than it is?
It's probably just more important than it is. I'll be honest with you. But I do think that it has a bit of influence to where I'm not saying that all women, but a lot of women who are so obsessed with like social media, where they're gonna use that as a way to set their standards to be very high. Especially, it's kind of bad enough where like you have people already having such high standards in this day and age, even men included, with their unrealistic standards. It makes women even have more unrealistic standards. Where let me get my laptop charger. That they are gonna have that high type of standard, and they're making it seem like it's okay, where that's what they're owed, which it's kind of like not fair, and that's something that you should be expecting so much. Especially, it kind of helps. It doesn't help with like those women who are like very materialistic. Of course, not every woman's very materialistic, where like just only care about where the whole idea of the relationship phrase where, and I don't know if this is what you would agree, Trap Queen. What do you think, Trap Queen? And this kind of goes along with modern relationships. A man is looking for love while the women are in business. Do you think that's actually a fucking term that's
What is
not?
it?
You just
Men are looking for love in a
A man is looking for
a
love in a
woman's looking
relationship.
for business in a relationship. What he's saying is men want something genuine while women see relationships as purely transactional. Is this the case?
I don't believe so. I think that
Yeah.
I don't
Hey
know.
woman,
But
are you vapid? Do you suck?
do you have rape fantasy? Anyway, no, I don't think that's the case at all, Zubair.
Do you think that's in this generation that's what women are becoming, or do you think that's still like a minority?
I think it's a minority. I think that if you're in a relationship, if you're viewing relationships as transactional, you're likely to attract someone who also thinks of them that way.
Okay, so it's only those like people are transactional type of people, basically.
And really, the ones right now who I see even pushing that at all are a lot of like the manosphere, like type of guys who talk about dating and relationships. That's who I'm seeing promote that idea of like relationships is all about what you can offer the other person, but really only on like a superficial level.
Well, I guess like from the only way I would say like I see that, it's really just again the types of people that go to the bars, go to the nightclubs. So maybe like that, or just I don't know. Maybe it is probably like part of it in the young people, maybe, and then people they end up growing out of that. I'm not saying it's right, but it's kind of It just again it's probably just again the modern dating culture in terms of for people looking to have fun. I just think that's in that case where it's just people just want to have fun. You're not looking to be serious.
Right.
I'm not saying that's everybody. I think like if you come from a traditional mindset, a traditional lifestyle where you're not too sexually let's say you don't hate your parents and you absolutely grow up where like you're policed. You don't have a fucking OnlyFans. You're not sexually obsessed. You fucking believe in God. Okay, you're a Christian, you're Jewish, you're a Muslim even. You fucking pray. You believe in God.
Right.
Those are the people that are not gonna they're gonna have that shit going on.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I think.
Right. And then I tell you, hey, Zubair, why don't you try going to church if you want to find a traditional girl? And your response is, it's too culty. I don't like being there. Fucking like,
I
yeah,
fucking go to
okay, dumbass. Where the fuck do
nigga.
you think you're gonna find a fucking religious person if not at a fucking religious place?
I'm a Muslim. I go to fucking mosque.
Okay, fucking whatever then. Go to mosque.
Okay.
But if you fucking think that's where you're gonna find them, then go there. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why are you insulting me, bro?
Because it's fucking insane, man. You're like, oh, should I talk to the girl who walks outside of my window? It's like fucking, you know where to go. You're just keeping yourself from going there. You're making up excuses and you're not going. Just go.
Okay, I'll go to the St. Patrick Cathedral. Don't worry.
Good.
I'll
Do it. Ask out an old lady.
I'm just not gonna go to the small Baptist type of gospel.
And I don't think you should go to that. And I would.
That's what I was talking about in terms of them.
I already said don't go there. I fucking have told you that already. I
That's
said
what I
find yourself a nice traditional place, something that's a high church kind of place, like a Catholic or an Orthodox church. Those are the places to go. You don't fucking like going to the Protestant thing. I mean, like it's fine, and I don't hate Protestants, and I don't have anything against them, whatever. But like, you know, that's where you're gonna find the people speaking in tongues and doing the weird shit.
I agree. That, again, it's just the reason why you think I'm talking about this culty stuff, because again, I mentioned that those people came out very culty, the ones in the Baptist gospel church place.
Right, and they did. Yeah, yes. Go somewhere else.
I will, if I have the time. Definitely, I will, and I agree. But again, when I go to worship, I go to worship, not to meet. Like, I feel like that's also disrespectful to the freaking talking to the Lord. You know, I'm there for the Lord.
I mean, it definitely is. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that during service, but people also hang out after service and they talk to each other and they fucking do different things. Like fucking, you don't just fucking go in and leave immediately. Like, oh, I don't want to talk to you guys. I mean, the church is a fucking organization of people that want to get to know you.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely ball game. You're right. Who is that sexy thing with you, Emery?
Oh, that's Bill.
Talk about Bill. What's the type of relation you guys got going on?
I kidnapped him. He's now my property, and here's a sword.
You gonna make out with him?
I don't really want to right now. Not on camera. I'd rather, it's intimate. But so traditional, non-traditional, should man marry minion? That's the question.
Yeah, well, I think love is love, right?
I would have to agree with that.
What do you think, Trap? When you think Mr. Bill Maher and Bill whatever, another Bill, the Bills gotten together? What do you think of that?
I think that I approve of it. I think that that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. So what else were we talking about? Traditional marriage?
Well, I think I'm going to give my 2 cents since you guys kind of gave your 2 cents.
Go ahead.
When I think of traditional relationships, I do think that it still exists. It's not as much, unfortunately, as of what's going on in the world currently. And I used to think that traditional relationships do more so overpower this whole nonsense of the modern world. But then when I kind of learned, I mean, I know you should really base it on just one relationship, but if like a relationship like this happens, and it's most likely probably happens a bunch of times too. For example, I used to believe that Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon were a traditional loving relationship. And then you find out, I didn't know that they were separated. And I think we should definitely talk about the McMahon controversy as a modern romance episode. But yeah, Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon, it turns out that, yeah, he's a type of guy that has affairs. He's legally married to Linda McMahon. And he's going about dating other women.
Can you believe it?
Okay, yeah, but it just kind of like exposes, like, does traditional marriages actually, like, especially like this is actually not just something that is only registered to Vince McMahon. This is what unfortunately other businessmen do. So the people we like who are in that type of age, where like we see Vince McMahon, he's like in his 70s. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it kind of exposes the idea where like all these businessmen who are in their 70s and 80s or whatever, they probably all this time you would think like they're married to this person for a very long time. They're probably behind closed doors or just secretly, dating other people. Another reason why I think traditional marriages are kind of like also falling apart is because of personally, where in terms of my my life, I know family members um are kind of committing adultery, right? They're not they're infidelity type of shit, and because of that, that basically makes me kind of give up the idea where like, man, fucking traditional marriages don't are falling apart. They're not as existable as they seem to be. So it kind of makes me give up, but I like kind of makes me think, wow, relationships are just not the same anymore. You have people that are not committed to each other anymore.
Mhm.
Aside from maybe a few people, if they're raised right and they're like absolutely they believe in God and they absolutely believe that adultery is something that's no joke that you should not be committing, and how is a disrespect to the whole idea of marriage and the disrespect to you and your kids, then those exist, but it's going to be less than as prominent as, let's say, years in the past. But again, compared to what 20 years ago, how the internet was, this was already going on. So it kind of makes me think like, wow, traditional marriages has probably been dying for a very long time. All right, and maybe this is a Hollywood thing. Maybe because of Hollywood influence, you never know. But that's how I think that traditional marriages have gone on, unfortunately. I do think, yeah, there's more so in some nowadays. There is more so of non-committed relationships, like I said, mentioned before. The whole idea of people married, like they're legally married, but then they're because it will look bad if they say they divorced their wife, and this is mostly because of like a business thing. Also, you see a lot of these businessmen, they'll be like legally married to their wife, but they're secretly just dating other women behind closed doors. Same thing with freaking women, probably. You never know. um, yeah, there's a lot of non-commitments going on. There's also, again, the whole idea of situationships. Situationships is, again, for those who don't know what situationship is, and I hate that fucking term. It's a popular modern term where you're basically saying you're in a relationship with a person without actually being in a relationship. But it's also the idea of not committing to them because you're also trying like, oh, I'm talking to this other guy too. I want to. I like this guy, but I'm talking to this other guy. It's basically like women and men. They're trying to see who's like the best fit for them. Like they're picking. It's like, again, it's like the Bachelor type of shit without being the Bachelor. I don't fucking know. The whole idea also of, oh, I'm seeing this person, without actually like saying that you're in a relationship with this guy or actually dating whatever. It's a problem, I think. Like if you're dating somebody, say you're dating them instead of fucking, oh, I'm seeing somebody, or I'm talking to someone. It's like they're the talking state. These dumb relationship stages, like until they finally agree that they're gonna be in a relationship with each other. It's just fucking dumb, retarded, gay bullshit without fucking taking responsibility of you're in a relationship with a person. It's like, again, it's all about not taking accountability. It's all about not taking responsibility or whatever. It's like it's all constant this whole bullshit with like what's going on with abortion. It's like with the whole it's similar bullshit. It's just dumb. And the whole idea of this whole non-monogamy, fucking polyamorous type of bullshit ass relationship where like there's people dating more than one person. I think like this is where like I can see why that's the thing. That's like kind of messed up. It's because, again, for example, my buddy has this type of thing going on, but also it's a popular issue where women. I'm not trying to say this is all women, right? But why I think this is actually true is that you see that rather than women will settle for a guy who's like in the market, but because they're not attracted to them, they rather share a guy.
When?
Hmm?
When does this happen? You talk about fucking women sharing boyfriends all the time, but like I've never fucking seen that ever.
I've never seen it either.
Well,
You talk about the fucking polyamory shit. fucking also, what the fuck are you talking about? They would rather do that than find a man of their own. Like, that's not a fucking thing. Like,
it has been it's what I've seen on like fucking like YouTube and shit, but apparently that's a thing. So,
fucking god damn it.
so you don't think that happens?
No, I think that's I'm not saying that that's never ever happened. I'm sure that's happened and I'm sure it'll happen again, but that does not happen on a big enough scale for anybody to be fucking complaining about it. That's ridiculous.
Yes, it's
And
such
if you
like
do,
a
it sounds like that's happened to someone, right? That actually happened to somebody, like a very specific situation, and they bitched about it. And then they were like, this is common.
Well, I think because like this was mentioned on whatever podcast. I have to like find that episode.
oh my god, enough with the whatever podcast.
Why are you insulting me? You act like I'm a big whatever podcast fan. Why are you insulting me, Trapster? The fuck?
When you bring it up all the time.
I don't bring it.
it to be.
I'm not subscribed to the whatever podcast though, or whatever.
I am. I think it's fun, but I don't think of it as real life.
Well, that's why I mentioned it because again, like Emery, like watch.
It's a fun time. I mean, it's a fun show to watch, but it's fucking brain rot. It's not good for your head. Like, it's not something that's not like, I don't know. You go into there to watch fucking.
Well, what I'm
goofy
mentioning
parts.
is probably like based on brain rot material. So maybe it's because of like what people say is brain rot material. Maybe who knows? Maybe it exists or not. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
So, Trap, you're still there.
What happened?
You're still there, and
Yeah, I'm still
you
here.
know, talk about how much you hate the whatever podcast.
I think the show is garbage. I mean, it's not informative at all. It's just dumb slop for people to watch and for stupid people to get angry about. They're just looking for.
Do you currently are even subscribe to them, or you absolutely hate and you think people watch are fucking retarded?
I have watched them before, the show before, but it's not like valuable in any way. So like it's not a good show, like by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not a good program.
Also, you never were like a fan, or you just were watching it because like you were like, why people? So how did you even came up glad to know about that show?
Well, because they use a lot of like viral marketing where like they will clip like a certain part of or episode of their show that is probably going to generate a lot of discourse, and they post that on their social media to get people talking. So I ended up watching the show from there. And like after watching like 2 or 3 episodes, I was like, this is just the same thing over and over again, and it's not valuable for anybody.
Okay. What's your favorite whatever moment? That I mean, it could even be like the moment that you hate about, but
I don't have one. Nothing. The show is so like stupid that nothing comes to mind.
okay. I think like one, it's just something I don't know if this constitutes with like with relationships, but I think I remember like in terms of whatever podcast, and I don't know if it constitutes with the whole idea of like talking about relationships. I think like maybe like you have certain women. I don't know if you agree with this. Like women, they think they're in a relationship, but they're not. Do you think that's actually a thing?
What?
Like there's
What was
women
that?
there's certain women that think they're in a relationship with a guy, like in talking stages, but they're not actually in a relationship with a guy. And do you think that's why women they say they're not in the market, but you know that they're typically are because they think they're in a relationship, but they're not? Do you think that's actually a thing? And maybe that contributes with the issue of modern dating?
I mean, there's issues where someone might string the other person along, and I think that probably definitely exists. But like, it can happen on both sides. Some people are just very very willing to be walked on, and they're not necessarily going to wake up to something until it's too late.
True. I do see like that's also like what a guy could even think like they're in a relationship with a person. So like yeah, absolutely. It's also like the whole. I do think like what is something with the internet exposes like you have people, and I think I even remember like this was like an episode that Law and Order did. Yeah, I mean I'm not saying Law and Order is based, but it's based on real life what they do. There was a Law and Order episode where you have guys like again this is constitute the sim culture where a guy would think they're in a relationship with a fucking e-girl, so it's like yeah shit like that. So it could be.
We talked about that last week, right? We talked about parasocial relationships.
We certainly did.
If you want to
But now
go,
Laura was talking about it.
if you want to get in depth to, since it's a relationship, so you want to mention, rephrase something about that.
Well, we did
What
talk
else
about
is
it.
there to say?
I mean, because this is technically a relationship episode, so maybe like if for people who haven't saw that, so
I mean, we can, I guess, reiterate what we said. Hey,
Yeah.
don't be in a parasocial relationship. It's bad for you. And don't be the Bjork guy who killed himself. That's wrong, too.
All right, that's fair enough. That's wonderful. Okay. I think that's all. I mean, everyone, is that all we want to talk about in terms of relationships, guys?
Emery, do you have anything?
I don't have anything. If you've got something, go ahead.
I don't have much else to say.
Okay, well, let's talk about now Valentine's Day. Since it is technically a pre-Valentine's Day episode, we have to mention this trap. This is obviously gonna be a pre-Valentine's Day special. What's your thoughts on Valentine's Day in general? Since you joined late in the party, what's your thoughts on Valentine's Day, and do you love it?
I think Valentine's is a very cute holiday. I've always liked it. My favorite color is pink, and my aesthetic is kind of like pink and hearts and bows and kind of cute stuff like that. So I like Valentine's Day.
Any traditions that you have done before and currently in your life?
I mean, right now I just go out to dinner with my boyfriend who won't put over the young talent he keeps pushing John Cena, but I go out to dinner with him. We exchange gifts. It's a good time.
Oh, how can we forget Trap Queen? I'm so stupid to not even acknowledge this. And Emery, we're stupid to not acknowledge this. Happy belated birthday, Trap Queen.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
How
belated.
old are you today?
Well, it's not
Too old.
Too old. Okay.
Well, happy belated birthday, Trap Queen. Obviously, like that's something. Yeah, I just totally forgot to mention. I mean, but it was like a few days ago by the time this is recording. But how was your birthday, by the way?
It was fun. I had a cake that tasted like chocolate covered strawberries, so that was pretty cool.
Wonderful.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. And obviously you can how does it feel like your birthday constitute with the Valentine's Day? Like how does that relate to each other? Like do you what I mean by that is like has
What's
your
it like
family...
having a birthday close to Valentine's Day?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it hasn't really affected anything really. I feel like Valentine's Day is not big enough of a holiday for that to really ruin your birthday.
Right.
The same way it would if it was like on Christmas.
I mean, does it like in terms of, let's say, past relationships, like how did that work out in terms of like, arranging certain times, occasions, and even with your family, with occasions?
I mean, it hasn't really affected anything. I mean, my birthday's like a week before Valentine's Day, but I don't really mind that. I mean, my partner in crime's birthday is also like a couple days after Valentine's Day, so it's fine,
We shouldn't have mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, I wanted to ask this last week, but I guess we can ask this week. What do you love about your special partner?
I don't, listen, I'm not happy with him. I told you.
Oh, but if
I
you
told you why I'm not happy.
you have to say it. What do you love about him?
Why?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What the
What do
fuck
you
is
love?
this?
Make
Quit
it-
being weird. See, how am I weird? What is it about me that's strange?
This is a
Shit
fucking.
like
This is different from real life. Okay, this is a.
I'm so different in person. Yeah.
Yes, I
Keep
am.
singing that.
I am, motherfucker. Okay, I'm doing this because I'm fucking This is my bestie here. Down. Okay, my bestie's here. We're gonna talk about her boy toy. It's gonna be fucking.
Why?
fabulous.
Why?
Because that's how we do. We talk about.
Stop
her.
with the fucking
boy.
voice. Stop with the fucking fake black woman voice. It's fucking annoying. It's weird. You do the snap thing and it makes me want to fucking reach through there and grab you by the throat until the fucking life leaves your eyes. It's fucking obnoxious.
Oh, Emery, I'm sorry you can't be such the best friendship I had in my
Think of something. Come on. How am I dumb? Come on. Think of something.
Sorry, I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm sorry
I
that
mean,
you can't just have
fucking-
the best friend like
Keep up.
that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Period.
Yeah, thanks, Slumdog Millionaire.
The fuck. Why are you freaking like having
Like
to
having
say
this.
each other
It
right now?
fucking you fucking awoke an anger inside of me that I haven't felt in a long time.
Look, calm the fuck down. This is supposed to be fun, and it is pretty fun. Okay, let's be honest here. This should supposed to be fun.
I'm having a great time. Now, what are
I'm
we
glad you
talking
are.
about?
That's the goal. If it can, if I, it doesn't matter if I make you laugh, if you cry, if everybody love each other, it will be a better place to live. Okay.
Have you
Anyway.
ever had a thought that was like not something that you took from someone else, that was like something that you had considered, and like, because like you spit Righty at me, you spit Wrestling Jesus at me, you spit Tommy Wiseau at me, and you pretend to be all these characters. Who even are you?
It's like
That's my question.
who
Is
who
there a
is the true
person in
Zubair at his
there?
core?
Like fucking like I feel like I'm talking to a transformer.
Like, because Zubair, like, who is the real you at your core?
What would
Real
you say
me
is your
is
fuck?
me
Yeah.
who loves art. Zubair is art of life, life of art.
Okay, so more Tommy Wiseau. Okay, Zubair, can I ask you a question about one of your videos that I came across recently?
What's up, sir?
I don't know if I'm allowed. If you don't like this, we could edit it off. You could edit it off with the YouTube tools, but I have to ask you about this video that you posted a couple months ago.
Couple months ago. Okay, what's up?
So it was a video. It was called like Rant on the YWC, and like, okay, for like the first half of the video, you're just WJ.
Okay.
Like you're just ripping him off entirely, like talking like him and like saying the same things that he would say, and then like in the second half of the video, you're just Zubair again. So I'm confused about like what happened there.
Aside from like doing the WJ intro, how am I still like? I guess maybe influenced by him. I get it, right?
No, but Zubair, like this was like insane. Like
Half the video you thought I was like WJ.
yes,
Really? Oh yeah, I don't
Zubair,
know.
you put on his voice and you were saying like the same things that he would say.
What was I saying exactly?
You were talking about getting flagged on your YouTube channel.
Oh, I guess yeah. I guess I had like yeah. I don't know. I just was very influenced to yeah. I guess
Well, like
because
why do that? That's kind of weird. Like
I don't know. I don't know. But again, like
And it's just
I
like I
just
tell you to like fucking see, and that's the thing that like fucks with me is like I'm always like, hey, be genuine with these women, be like yourself. But it's like fucking again, it's like who are you, man? Like for real, like why? I'm not even saying who are you in like a negative way. Like I'm not even like against you. You're my friend, and I'm glad that we're friends and we can talk and everything. But like fucking like you gotta leave the fucking copying people shit in the past. Like it's not necessarily bad to be influenced by people. And Lord knows that I've fucking said some of the same jokes that Righty has said and all the fucking people on here because they're my friends and we have that fucking sort of a rapport or whatever. But it's like it's not taking people's jokes, it's not taking people's like quips or whatever. Like you try to take their personality. It's like you fucking put a flash drive in their brain and tried to upload it into yours, man. Like it's kind of weird. Like it's not good, it's not healthy. And I think that a lot of people can see that you're doing that, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
like it's definitely it's pretty obvious, Zubair. Like when I watched the video, I was really like disturbed by that
Were you
what?
scared?
You were disturbed?
because it was creepy. Like because it wasn't just like he was ripping off like his jokes. Like it was like he was speaking just like how he would.
And just trying
No,
to
I
play it off like he
also
was
had a
just doing
Canadian
his own
accent.
thing.
What happened, Emery? I'm sorry.
It wasn't like a parody or anything. He was just trying to like
No,
play
it
it
wasn't.
off.
He started talking like WJ, but then like he ran out of steam by the middle of the video and he was just Zubair again.
Huh.
So I had
I
Canadian
didn't see that
accent.
video.
I will send it to you.
I had a Canadian accent basically.
Zubair, you were putting on his voice. Like, and WJ doesn't really talk like that. Like, he's got like a French Canadian accent, not a straight up Canadian accent.
So I had a French Canadian accent.
Did you just ask
I
if
don't.
you
You
have
were.
a French Canadian accent? You have a Zubair accent.
I don't know. You were.
In the video, I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Whatever. I'm glad to watch that
I'm
back.
Who are you? Like, because
that's my question here. And not even again, like I don't hate you. You're my friend and all. And I'm glad to know you and I'm having fun here tonight. This has been a good episode. It's just that is definitely something you got to work on. Like when you fucking like when you pretend to have my voice and you're like, "Come." Like this is weird. Don't do that. It's not I don't know. This is not good. Like it's like fucking I don't know. Like we should have like man, you should have your own shit. You know what I mean? Like, how much cooler would it be if like Zubair had his own voice, his own jokes, and his own personality and his own thing going on? You know what I mean? Like that would break through the mold, man. Fucking leave these other people in the past. Fuck them. Even me.
like I would love to see just a straight up like Zubair video instead of you just being trying to be like everybody else.
When I apparently
100%, man. And it's okay to have influences. That's not what anybody's saying. Like that's fine. Like everybody, like fucking, like everybody knows who I'm influenced by. Like I wish I was Bob Dylan, but I'm not. Fucking, and it's just like, and I don't try to be. Like, but he has had an impact on my life, and like it's obvious in a lot of ways. And there's other ways that it's not. But fucking, like it's, and it's good that you have these people, and especially to have friends that have had an impact on your life. Like that's really good. But like to try to fucking like take their personality is just strange. Fucking like imagine if I tried being like Jewy. Wouldn't that fucking be weird to you and probably annoy the shit out of you? Yeah, it would.
oh yeah, what's your thoughts on apparently people think you're Jim Carrey looking?
That I'm Jim Carrey. That I'm a Jim Carrey look. I've heard that before a couple of times, and I'm not offended by it. If you think I look like Jim Carrey, that's fine. I don't know. I'm not like him. I wouldn't say I'm like him. I can't make the same faces, and I've never been in a feature film like The Mask or Liar Liar. So I mean, I'm not Jim Carrey, but if you want to say I'm Jim Carrey, I like that. I think it's nice to have that.
Are you
to
Jim
break it
Carrey,
up.
Mark?
I don't know what that means, but I think that it's nice to have Jim Carrey to break up all the Bill Haters I get. I hear Bill Hader every day, like, hey, has anybody ever told you look like Bill Hader? Like, they have every day, but every now
I
and
don't know who
then,
Bill is.
that's interesting.
Are you a bit again? Like I'm trying to say, are you a Jim Carrey, Mark?
I don't know what that means. What is what would be I'm a fan of him? I think he's all right.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for or against him. I like The Truman Show. It's a good movie. I like Eternal Sunshine. That's a good movie. But I'm a pretentious movie guy. I also like Liar Liar. That movie makes me cry. Like I'm a little bitch. Like fucking the shit with the kid and his dad, where it's like the dad learns how to love his kid correctly. Like that shit that pierced my heart, man. That was a good fucking movie. Like that's a fucking like it's a great film, even though it's not really all that great.
Mm-hmm. Any plans for Valentine's Day, or what is your suggestion for people who okay, what's your suggestion for people who apparently watching this have a relationship, what they should do on Valentine's Day, and for the people who are single?
I mean, for the people who are single, I mean, Valentine's Day candy is still pretty good. Eat some Valentine's Day candy and forget about being single for a day.
Just fucking live your fucking life,
What
man.
about you,
Like,
Emily?
I don't give a shit about Valentine's Day. I don't give a shit about St. Patrick's Day. There's a lot of fucking days I don't really give a shit about. It's a fucking another day. It's just another fucking day. It's there. It's on the calendar. It's gonna happen. You know what you should remember Valentine's Day for? The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which was it was a gang murder that happened in Chicago in the 20s on Valentine's Day. So anytime Valentine's Day happens, that's where my brain goes, is this fucking horrible thing that happened in Chicago.
I should think of that too. So, yeah, I think you guys have brought support. I'll even mention like what you should do in terms of maybe relationships and friendship. But you guys never mentioned like what people should do in terms of if they're in a relationship. What's the plans? What's the perfect Valentine's Day gift or date or whatever?
the perfect Valentine's Day date is really whatever you and your person that you're with wants to do that day.
100%. Everybody's different. My suggestion: go to the sock hop and get yourself a malt. Now, what is your advice for people?
So I mean, so what was I gonna say in terms of singles and relationships? But before that, I just want to mention I used to be the type of person where I think it's sad for people to be angry about for people having a Valentine's, right? And I still
Uh-huh.
think it's stupid if you're angry about that. But I think nowadays, I guess because it's funny. When I'm watching TV now, right? When I'm watching an old show, I would laugh haha, this guy doesn't have a girlfriend. What a loser. And I realized, oh my fuck, I'm that fucking loser now. If I watch an old fucking TV show and episode, it's
Why were you thinking that to begin with? And also, what show is that? Is that like The Joke? Is it the guy's a loser with no girlfriend? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean that's what I kind of think of now, right? If I'm seeing that's the thing. It's the world, TV, they make fun of these guys who can't get girls,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that's sad. You know what I mean?
And
these are
it's sad when you see it because you put yourself in their shoes. Zubair learned empathy.
I don't know. It's just I kind of feel I kind of I don't know if that's karma in my life, but it's
Is it karma?
I don't know. But that's the thing. It's a joke, supposedly. See, this guy can't get a girl.
I mean, it is a
right,
joke.
and then
a lot of things are a fucking joke that are fucked up. You would know that. You say a lot of fucked up shit is a joke. Fucking, what are you even getting at? Fucking.
I feel bad,
fucking
man.
not joke. I mean, people make fun of people in wheelchairs, and you're fucking talking about making fun of a guy who can't get a girlfriend. I mean, it's a fucking TV show.
I mean, it's not right. It's not right to make fun of people in wheelchairs, man. It's not.
What are you, the fucking joke Nazis now? What are you?
I'm not joke Nazi. I'm not. It's just I feel bad. I'm kind of I've grown to where I have a heart where I feel bad for even want to make a joke. It doesn't mean we should stop making jokes, but But what I'm trying to say is I kind of show empathy to people who are single now. I totally get why it's a hard world nowadays for people to get in relationships, but it doesn't mean we should basically be angry and spiteful for people who are in relationships. We should always be love. It should be a day of love where not just only about relationships, but love to life, love to yourself, love to your neighbor. Love
I
to
think
everyone.
Valentine's Day should be open season on single people. That's what it should be. Valentine's Day, if you're in a relationship, good, you're safe. But if you're single, it's like the fucking purge. You better fucking board your house up, stay inside, get inside the closet, and get whatever fucking weapon you can. Because now, for a whole day, for the day of love, it's legal for me to come into your house and shoot you directly in the face for being single. That's how I think Valentine's Day should be celebrated. How about you, Zubair?
I thought you were gonna say you should protect yourself, or else I'll come on you.
And that's what I was talking about earlier.
I mean, I did it for you though, so.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I think, well, again, if you're single, let that be a day to do something that you love. Maybe use that as a day to eat something special. Eat a special dish. Get a nice special dish for yourself. Do something loving. Maybe treat yourself with some nice chocolate. Treat yourself to a nice dessert. Go to a nice bakery. Get yourself nice dessert. That's what I think I might do. It's a Friday after all. Maybe eat some fucking fried food, man. Eat something good, delicious. Enjoy yourself. Eat what you want. The saying of good food mean good life from Chen Kenichi from Iron Chef Japan. Rest in peace, by the way, Chen Kenichi. So do something like that. Talk to some buddies. Play games, watch TV, watch your favorite film. Even watch watch Cobra Kai. This Friday, Cobra Kai is coming out. The last season, the last episode. Watch that. Cobra Kai is the best show It's probably my only favorite show at the moment, and I'm gonna be very sad that it's gonna be gone. So I'll be looking forward to that. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. So y'all watch that. But if you're in a relationship, you should watch that with your chick. Aspire to make her go, oh shit, should a big black couch for yourself with Coca-Cola, drinking magnicity, fucking a big black couch right there. All day, all fucking night. All right. Not just that, obviously, I would say my best suggestion: cook her a nice meal, impress her. It's better than going to a restaurant where it's all gonna be craziness out in the world where people are gonna be like having all this whole issue with restaurants and shit like that. You better best yourself to fucking cook at home. You can tell the bitch to probably cook for you. I don't fucking know. But if she ain't gonna do that, you show her that you could cook that fucking special dish. Do that for her. Fucking just be nice, make it a nice lovey-dovey fucking special day. Or you want to spend time with family, friends, and loved ones if you're in a relationship. Do that shit. And it'll be good. Spread it. Why just be special just for that special someone? Just spread that love to everyone, and then they could all love each other. It's be wonderful. Why not?
I agree, Zubair. We should all love each other and be wonderful together.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Anyways, I think that's all we gotta say, right? There's a Valentine's Day in modern relationships.
I don't have much else to add right now.
That monologue took the wind out of me. You should never speak for that long ever again in a fucking continual sentence.
Whatever. I still love you, and I love everybody. You all love. Happy Valentine's Day by the time you guys watch this. Yeah, you guys are love. I love that minion. What are you gonna do now, Emery?
The minion is fucking awesome. Minion.
Everybody have a good night.
Good night, folks.
Yeah, bye. W. Love you. Good night.